Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the captivating story behind an iconic melody, a song that perfectly encapsulates the yearning for a better place, California Dreamin'. But this isn't just about sunshine and good vibes. It's a tale born from the stark contrast of a New York winter and the longing for the West Coast warmth that inspired John and Michelle Phillips to pen its timeless lyrics. We'll explore the genesis of this legendary track, the creative spark that ignited its creation, and how it became an anthem for a generation. However, the dreamy harmonies that propelled the mamas and the papas to stardom masked a reality fraught with internal turmoil. Beyond the music, the band's story is a complex web of love, betrayal, and the pressures of fame that ultimately led to their fracturing. Join us as we uncover the fascinating and sometimes turbulent journey of California Dreamin' and the group that brought it to life. Have you ever been in a place that just doesn't feel like home? A cold, gray place where the icy wind whispers in your ear that you're in the wrong spot? If so, then you'll know exactly what John and Michelle Phillips felt in 1963. John, the musical genius behind the song, and Michelle, his muse and partner, were stranded in New York City. Two souls from the West Coast, trapped in the New York winter. It was during a walk down the street, with snow blanketing the city and the cold chilling them to the bone, that Michelle blurted out a phrase that would change the history of pop music. She told John, "I would love to be in California." And right then and there, in the middle of the frigid winter, the seed was planted for what would become one of the most iconic songs of all time. The song isn't just a catchy tune, it's a yearning, a plea to the sun and the warmth of home. The lyrics, written by John with Michelle's collaboration, paint a vivid picture of that moment. The first verse with the famous, "All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray,"
All the leaves are brown, leaves are brown, and the sky is gray, and the sky is gray.
isn't a simple description of an autumn day. It's a reflection of the melancholy they felt, the nostalgia for a place that represented everything they didn't have at that moment. The church, the "I stopped into a church, I passed along the way,"
To the church, I passed along the way.
is a symbol of searching, of a kind of salvation, of a spiritual comfort they couldn't find in the cold reality of New York.
Well, I got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray.
The preacher said a prayer for the lonely only deepens that feeling of loneliness and helplessness. It's a song of longing, of hope, of the faith that one day they'll return home. But the story of California Dreamin' isn't just about its creators. It's also the story of the mamas and the papas, the band that immortalized it. When John and Michelle formed the group with Cass Elliot and Denny Doherty, the song already existed. The first version was recorded by Barry McGuire, another artist of the time.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky.
However, John wasn't satisfied with the result. He knew the song needed the harmony and voices of his band. And so, in 1965, they went back to the studio to record the version we all know. The flute, played by the incredible Bud Shank, wasn't a casual addition. John added it at the last minute, almost by accident. At first, the producer objected, but John insisted. And that flute, that melancholic and ethereal melody, became the song's signature, the final sigh that elevates it to the category of a masterpiece. The song was an instant hit. It was the unofficial anthem of the 60s counterculture, the soundtrack to the summer of love in San Francisco. People identified with that feeling of longing for a better place, for the promise of freedom and a sunny future. Before we continue with the story of the conflicts within the band, I'd like to remind you that in the video description, you'll find a link to our tutorial where we teach you how to play this incredible song. So once you're done watching the video, I invite you to check it out and learn to play this masterpiece. But behind the facade of harmony and success, the group was entangled in a web of tensions and conflicts. The members' personal lives intertwined with their professional ones in an explosive way. The story of the Mamas and the Papas, like many others in the music industry, was not without drama. The harmony the public heard in their songs contrasted sharply with the turbulence of their personal lives. The band, a talented vocal quartet, became a nest of jealousy and unrequited love. The main tension centered on the love triangle between Michelle Phillips, her husband John Phillips, and Denny Doherty. Denny, the band's vocalist, was madly in love with Michelle, and she, in turn, reciprocated. This infidelity, which John discovered, became an open wound that never fully healed. Although the couple tried to reconcile, the trust was broken. The situation became so unbearable that in 1966, John, in an attempt to save his marriage, fired Michelle from the band. They replaced her with Jill Gibson, a close friend. However, the group's chemistry and distinctive sound were affected. Fans did not accept the change, and the pressure from the record label was enormous. After a brief period, Michelle returned to the group, but the damage had already been done. The band, which had reached the pinnacle of success, began a slow and painful decline. The atmosphere in the recording studio and on tour was tense, charged with unresolved emotions. Arguments and conflicts were constant. In addition to personal problems, massive success brought with it other pressures. Fame, the expectation of constantly producing hits, and addictions began to take their toll on the members' mental and physical health. Cass Elliot, the powerful voice and heart of the group, struggled with her weight and the pressure of her public image. John, the leader and main songwriter, sought refuge in drugs. These personal dynamics were reflected in the music, creating a fascinating contrast between the beauty of the songs and the turbulence of their lives. It was as if the music was a pressure valve for the chaos they lived through daily, and California Dreamin' was a clear example of this. The song spoke of dreams, of an unattainable paradise, while the reality of their lives was a perfect storm. Although the band stayed together until 1968, the magic and innocence of the beginning had completely vanished. They disintegrated, leaving behind an incomparable musical legacy, but also the story of how betrayals and conflicts can destroy even the most beautiful dream. The story of the Mamas and the Papas is a reminder that often beauty and pain go hand in hand. Despite the conflicts, they managed to create one of the most important discographies in pop music. But the tensions were too much. The group disbanded in 1968, just a few years after their explosion. Their legacy, however, is indelible, and at the heart of that legacy is California Dreamin', a song that has transcended time, generations, and borders. It's a testament that dreams, even when they are unattainable, can inspire the most beautiful works. A song that reminds us that we have all, at some point, longed to be in a better place, in a place where the sun always shines. The song has been covered by countless artists, from the Beach Boys to Lana Del Rey, each one bringing their own interpretation. But the Mamas and the Papas version remains the definitive one, the original, the one that carries in its DNA the story of four creative souls, of a freezing winter in New York, and a longing for the California sun. It's a song that transports us to an era of ideals, of freedom, of utopias, but also of pain, of conflicts, and of broken realities. A song that is a reflection of life itself, with its lights and shadows, its dreams and its disappointments. And that's why it continues to resonate so strongly in our hearts. Because at the end of the day, we are all John and Michelle, dreaming of a better place, of a sun that warms our souls, and of the promise that one day we will return home. It's a song that reminds us that no matter where we are, we can always dream of California. And so the story of California Dreamin' ends, but its music and spirit live on. It's a song for the nostalgic, for the dreamers, for those who feel out of place, a song that unites us through a universal feeling, the longing for a place where we belong. And that, my friends, is the true magic of music. It's a song's ability to connect millions of people across time. And now that you know the story behind this masterpiece, the next time you listen to it, I hope you enjoy it in a completely new way. I hope you can feel the cold of New York, the longing for the sun, and the incredible story of the four young people who gave us an anthem. And if you like this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more fascinating stories like this one. Also, leave us a comment telling us what other song you'd like us to analyze in the future. See you next time.